Fede and a big day for the Longstaff brothers. What were your thoughts about?
Yeah, it's funny, eh? Well, one, I think the curse is broken. I said that at half time to Fede, when he missed the penalty and he was able to nick it in there. That was it. I knew. We sort of had a chuckle at half time, and yeah, I think that curse that was on him is lifted, and it showed in the second half. And with Longy, we watch the Newcastle matches at the same time usually, so we're usually flicking texts back and forward. And I sent him a text and said, "Look, your bro scored, so I fancy you scoring tonight, Longy. You're gonna score." And funny enough, he did. So I went and grabbed him a match ball there. Proud of him. But proud of all the boys tonight. Again, I thought that was a really good home performance against a Dallas team that you could see came in with a bit of confidence. But I think once we settled in to our rhythm, yeah, we were in control there. It was nice. I enjoyed it.
John, what do you gain by playing Etienne more through the middle? Because I thought he was really solid through, especially the first half.
Well, he's the profile we were looking for. I mean, that top of the box in the 3-4-3, he fits that perfectly. And I think he's just clever. He's got a real high IQ. He understands that space. And we'd seen that with Haiti. I kept saying to him, like, we used to come on and cause us absolute mayhem off the bench in those pockets of space. So, and again, I think he draws players, so that brings more space for Ozo and Prince, and then ultimately Fede out wide. So, yeah, really happy with his performance tonight. He didn't get a goal or an assist, but you could see he's a handful.
John, I thought we saw some of the release from Fede on that first goal. It turned out that one didn't end up counting. Second celebration was a little bit subdued, but maybe just what did you see in the emotions of that moment?
Yeah, it was a nice moment. I mean, I think the whole team just felt relief when it happened. And, when they took it away, I just thought, he's cursed. This guy he's genuinely cursed. There's something going wrong here. But getting the penalty, and then when he missed it, I was like, this can't be happening. But yeah, great, he knocked it in, and it set him up. I mean, he's been setting that left foot shot up for nearly a year and a half, hasn't he? Waiting for that one. But it was a beautiful goal, and a one that only he can score in this league. So it's exciting. Yeah, I enjoyed it tonight. I think the fans are starting to believe that this TFC team is going to, one, put a shift in for them, two, going to turn up, and three, keep them in the running.
Fede's a veteran guy. He's been around the block, but do you have to kind of talk to him when he's going through this kind of the stretch he was going through? Because he was doing a lot on the field. He just wasn't getting the goal.
We had a lot of conversations, Neil. As I say, I've really enjoyed working with Fede. So many different layers to him. I asked him just to stay focused on his leadership, and as I keep saying to him, if you focus on modelling the way, your leadership, good things happen to good people, and the universe will turn, and it did. That's what happens. It was on the day of my sister's passing, so I knew she would do something for us tonight, and she made some good things happen. So there's probably some divine intervention going on.
Is there any early word on Treader? That was a pretty nasty challenge.
Yeah, it was naughty, eh? It was naughty. No word yet, and we're thin enough as it is going into this stretch. Our fingers are crossed, but if he has to come out that early, I can't imagine we'll see him anytime soon. This will be a big problem for us. Yeah.
Sean, you limit them to 2 shots on target, one of which was only kind of came on the goal. What was the key to sort of limiting them, in the final third?
Well, we had a sense that they'd be very direct. We had a sense that they would try and bring those centre midfielders onto the ball and find the channels in behind. So they had a strategy to draw your wide centre back into the half space and then try and find a player in behind. And I think the guys committed to that. We got caught early doors with the second phase pickups. But once we sort of solved that, it was a pretty, I thought, a strong performance defensively. So I just think it's, again, you come back to some of the key tactical challenges we knew there would pose, and it played out how we thought. And once we got into the rhythm, yeah. And the other thing, John, is it's just you're able to play like a Fede Bernadeschi at wing back, and he's going to do that work. I mean, that's a player that's willing to do the honest shift in for his team, regardless. So we've got a lot of lads like that are putting big shifts in. So I think, just a collective commitment to the strategy.
John, this is an important month where you're going to have a lot of matches. How important is it for the team and for Fede to have this performance in the first match of the month?
It's critical. This is our new phase, and we knew we had to start strong. The sort of catch cry was, we felt we did a good job in Orlando, but it wouldn't have meant much if we didn't take the win here. I think the win here has just solidified, the charge that we're on at the moment. But more importantly, starting this phase the right way, at home. So I think all in all, when I look at what this performance meant to the group, it's just trust. It's trust in, we can keep these winning habits, and it is a habit winning. And with Fede's performance, what you'll start to see is teams put more attention on him now. Similar to what was happening with Insigne when Lorenzo scores 2 wonder goals, and all of a sudden you've got 3 players over that side of the field quickly. Fede is starting to show that he can win games on his own again.
John, you're going to finish the weekend third in the East after, I guess, 11 games. Is this about where you thought you'd be at this point?
No chance. I mean, it's where you visualise. You have to visualize, and then you do everything you can to manifest it with the culture, with everything that you're throwing into it. But if you think this team, for the last 3 years have been nowhere near this sort of echelon, and you'll get the narrative shifting. Oh well, this is a good squad. It really was a good squad, and it's where they should be, and that narrative shifts. But we're just focused on next game. Next 3 points, we've got a target for this window, and if we stay as disciplined and committed, we can reach that target, particularly with the home games we've got. So stay humble, keep our feet on the ground, one game at a time, get the cup game out the way this week. That's going to be a tough match in Montreal, and then NYFC. I know the lads are really looking forward to that match.
What did the next few days look like going into that Montreal match, and how much is it going to be sort of having squad rotation?
Well, we've already spoke to a group of players. We tend to set missions up. So, one group were already on mission for this game. They've been working as a unit. They've been looking at the scouting for the game. So we've got one group already ahead of the game. And they're ready to take Monday a heavy day tactically. So we've got about 9-10 players that are just ready to play this match, and we've got another group that will be ready to come into the match to finish. So as I've said to the lads, like going into these games, we're taking nothing for granted. This is a quarter-final. You're 2 steps away from a Canadian championship. It'll be all hands to the pump. There'll be no one getting left home. There'll be no one, allowed to take a day off. The lads, the best 18 players will be on that aeroplane and travelling to Montreal to get that result.